Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I am really excited to be bringing you my Week 5 team analysis for Season 2 Division 1 of the Pokemon Premier League. Yes indeed. Now, this week is going to be very tough. Just to take you over how things have been going, we are currently sitting at 4-0 for the season, at the top of the table, which is really exciting. I'm really happy to be in this position. But a lot of pressure does get added to that when you're at the top of the table, sort of seen as the team to beat, which is, puts a lot of pressure on. But hopefully we can continue in that vein as we go forward into the league. This is going to be tough, because our opponent this week is none other than my good friend Ethan, Erasthamus Gaming, and his team, the Miami Rotom-Heat. And his team is really very scary indeed for a number of reasons. I'm going to go over his draft and let you know the kind of ones he can be selecting from for this game. So, going from top to bottom, we have, you'll see them on your screen right about now, Clefable, Starmie, Tornadus-I, Electros, Gastrodon, Tauros, Mienshao, Mega Aggron, and Zoroark. This is a very spooky, scary draft. He has a really powerful core in the form of Clefable and Mega Aggron. That's a difficult core to break down, and a lot of other bulky mons going on there as well. The likes of Gastrodon, Electros, even Starmie can be bulky, and of course Tornadus-I has good natural bulk as well. But there's one other thing that he really has on his side, and that is speed. Now, whilst I have a very powerful speedy mon in the form of Victini and a few base 105s and a Thundurus to top that out, he has 5 mons that outspeed my base 100 Victini. Those being Starmie, Tornadus-I, Tauros, Mienshao, and Zoroark. Now, why is this such a massive problem for me? Well, my main clickbait in the form of speedy offense is Victini's V-Create. Now, the problem this provides for Victini is it kind of makes it very revengeable, because looking at his team, even if Victini is able to get a massive V-Create off and take something out, he can bring in the thing I'm really most afraid of on his team, which is his Tornadus-I. That is hitting over base 120 speed, it's got massive attack and special attack, very nice mixed move pool, and it's difficult to know what it's going to do until it's already doing it. Coupled with the fact that he's got those things that outspeed it anyway, even if I ran like a Scarf Victini, it would still be revengeable, because after the speed drop I'm back down at neutral, and he's got all those mons that still outspeed me. I have to switch out, and with some of those mons, I just don't have switch-ins. So, when it comes to this team, I'm going to have to get a little bit creative. It's time for the gimmick, and I have some in mind. Because it's not only his speed I need to get around. His Clefable is a problem for my team. Clefable is very difficult to take down. I had a lot of trouble with it last season in the final game when Shardy had it, and it was setting up Cosmic Powers and Carmines all over the place. It was very tough to try and take down. So I need to find a way around that as well. So, we're going to get gimmicky, guys. My plan here, it's a strange one, because there's just so little that I can do to get around those fast attackers. There's so little. So what do I do in this situation? Well, I have put together a team where hopefully I can use his speed against him, with something of an unlikely hero that I hope to come through in this game. So, with that in mind, let's get into the team that I'm going to be bringing. So, first up, we have Victini. Lil Dun is here, and it's a strange one. We've gone with a Colberberry as the item, very nice to try and block those knockoffs that are quite prevalent. The likes of Mienshao can carry knockoff Tornadus-I as well, and of course Zoroark. The moves, I'll go over the moves in a bit. Firstly, that investment, max attack, max special attack, Brave Nature, V-Create, Bolt Strike, Energy Ball, and Trick Room. Yeah, I'm bringing Trick Room Victini. Get at me. And there's method behind my madness. V-Create, of course, is that move that's so powerful that it has to lower 3 stats to make it usable. Special defense, physical defense, and speed. This makes it a perfect move to be run in Trick Room, because I'm always lowering my speed, which means in Trick Room, I'm going to be outspeeding shit. And the fact that Victini is the setter in and of itself means I'm going to get the most out of that Trick Room. That's the problem that Trick Room sometimes has. You have to set it up and sometimes go into something. You only get a few turns to use it, and with some intelligent switching on an opponent's part, the Trick Room can be stalled out. Victini is at that beautiful point where it can set the Trick Room up for itself, get the most turns out of it, and have powerful enough moves that it doesn't tend to matter if an opponent is switching around, because it's still going to hit very hard. V-Crate is going to hit a lot of his mons. The ones it doesn't are the likes of Starmie and Gastrodon, and nothing else really. Nothing else wants to take the V-Crate. So I've got Bolt Strike on there, just in case the Starmie is proven to be a problem. If the Tornadus, is coming in, I can catch it on the switch, go for a Bolt Strike there. Energy Ball is kind of just tacked on in case I see that the Gastrodon doesn't have Rindo Berry, in which case a max invested Energy Ball is still going to be doing a lot of damage. I kind of think he's going to be bringing Gastrodon. I also kind of think he's going to be bringing physically defensive Gastrodon to try and take on Victini's V-Crate and a Bolt Strike that is a nice move to tack onto Victini's moveset. With that negative nature, the brave nature, and in Trick Room, with one V-Crate, I'm still at a massively lowered amount of speed, so hopefully I can outslow his slower mons and therefore outspeed them in Trick Room. Gonna be nice if he brings a lot of fast stuff as well. If I can get a Trick Room in, he's gonna be at a loss because he's gonna have a lot of fast mons on his squad that he could choose from. If he's bringing all of them, I can hopefully sweep through them a little bit. And that's the thinking behind Victini. Now, the problem is, if he is bringing some unexpected defensive mons, I really kind of need some form of boost to be able to get through them. Even that Mega Aggron, if he's bringing fully physically defensive Mega Aggron, V-Crate, I don't think it's guaranteed to take it out, as it is. And he can go for like an Earthquake. With the lowered stats from V-Crate, he's going to be hitting me quite hard. So, what do I do to counteract that? This is where the second member of my team really comes into play, because the second member of my team is Umbriel. Great John is back for his second game, and we have got a specially defensive Choppleberry set right here, with Curse, Foul Play, Sub, and Baton Pass. This is where the sweep gets interesting. If I can get 1 or 2 Curses up, maybe get behind a Sub, and pass into Victini, I can hopefully take any hit because Victini's got very good natural bulk. I'm not sacrificing its defenses to run a mix set because I'm lowered speed. Then I can set up the Trick Room. I'm at -1 or 2 speed with Curse anyway. I start firing off the +1/2 V-Creates. My defense lowering through that move is mitigated by the Curse, and hopefully we can get some really good damage on. Umbriel is not here to cause damage, it never really is. It's here to try and take hits. The Chopper Barrier is on there, so that if I can maybe get a Curse up anyway, I'm hopefully taking hits from the potential Mienshao, and maybe a superpower from the Tornadus-I. It's also able to take pretty much any couple of hits from the likes of Electros, and indeed the Clefable it can take hits from too. Not that I'm going to be staying in on Clefable. Now I was tempted to put Wish on this. It's strange to see an Umbreon with absolutely no way of healing itself or other mons. No leftovers, no Wish. The reason I have Sub on there instead of that is because of the Mega Aggron. Mega Aggron is something I can set curses up on unless it's got a phasing move. Roar and Dragon Tail are the ones of choice, but I suspect he would be running Dragon Tail. He has run Dragon Tail before, and I think that's just going to be his one of choice to try and get damage on things whilst phasing them out if he brings it. If I can get curses up, get a sub up, he can't break that with the Dragon Tail, even if he's max investment. So that's the thinking there. I'm a bit boned if he brings Roar, but I don't think he will. I rather think he's going to be bringing Dragon Tail instead. So that's the theory behind Umbriel and Victini. That's a core that I really want to work in this game, and I really hope they do. If they do, it's going to go well. If they don't, this is going to be a car crash. So it's high risk, high reward, gimmickry. My kind of deal. So, third up, we get a little bit more normal, and we've gone with Chestnut. Nay, the Chestnut has returned once again, and we've gone fairly standard max HP, max physical defense with the leftovers, Drain Punch, Seed Bomb, Spiky Shield, and Spikes. If I want to get some kind of sweep going with Victini, Spikes are going to be very helpful for me. He's got a few things that don't take hit, the likes of Tornadus-I, Electros, but everything else is grounded, and his only spinner is Starmie. And if he's packing Rapid Spin on Starmie, that means he's not packing another coverage move, which is fantastic for me. I'm more than happy to see it not packing 4 massive attacks to try and take on my team as much as possible. Spiky Shield, obviously just very nice, you know, to have on Chestnut, try and scout things out. Seed Bomb is preferred over Wood Hammer for the lack of recoil. It's going to be hitting the Gastrodon fairly hard, and Drain Punch is nice to get even more recovery back if I can. Usually seem to be paired with Leech Seed, but I don't have room for that this week. I just want to run Drain Punch and Seed Bomb. It's endlessly walled by the likes of Tornadus, but to be honest, I won't be staying in on Tornadus. I'll be going into something else to deal with it. So that is the thinking behind Fizz Death Chestnut, all rather standard. But you'll notice that there is still a bit of a prevalent problem with my team, and that is still Clefable. I don't really have too much that wants to deal with it. It can take a hit from Victini's V-Crate if I'm not boosted and he's physically defensive, and he can start doing nasty things to me. So, I need a way of taking care of Clefable. So I've gone with a dedicated Clefable gimmick, and that is the 4th member of my team for this week, Mismagius. I have brought a Focus Sash Mismagius with max HP and max speed. The moves we are rocking: Shadow Ball, Destiny Bond, Taunt, and Mean Look. Interesting setup. Thing about Clefable is if it gets set up, it's very difficult to take down. And there are a lot of things on my team that it can set up on, and what I'm hoping is that he thinks Mismagius is one of those. As soon as Clefable comes in, I'm going to go into Mismagius. Base 105 special defense means it's taking hits naturally. If it's a defensive build of Clefable, I can take 2. Easy. But what I'm hoping is he thinks he can set up. So in my mind, I go into Mismagius on the Clefable as maybe he tries to set up a Calm Mind. I trap him with Mean Look. Maybe he gets a bit suspicious. Maybe he tries to set up more thinking he can 1v1 me. At that point, I go for Taunt. Now he is locked in and forced to attack. At which point, I click Destiny Bond until we both go down. Now this is a strange option to take on a differential base league. However, if it comes at the cost of my Mismagius, but it means I get to take down Clefable, I'm more than happy with that trade-off, because Clefable is such a threat and I don't want to mess around with it. So Mismagius is kind of my go-to guy for Clefable. Now, if he doesn't bring Clefable and he brings, for example, the Mega Aggron, I can use it in exactly the same way, because Mega Aggron is still a massive problem. This is kind of just a safety net for anything that's out of control, that I outspeed. All those defensive walls that I just don't want to deal with. Mismagius could be very clutch in that respect. If it takes out something that is stopping a sweep from something else, then we're going to be golden. So that is the thinking behind my Mismagius this time around. So we can move on to the 5th member of my team, and that is going to be Bohemian, the Thundurus Incarnate. I'm bringing back Bohemian, and this time we are going with an Expert Belt set with the Prankster ability. Moves of choice are going to be Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Sludge Wave, and Agility, with that modest nature, max special attack, max speed. This is my out of Trick Room contingency. The idea being I can hopefully set up an agility on, I don't know, something that I can take a hit from, and then just start firing off massive hits. With the Expert Belt, I'm not taking Life Orb Recall, which is an item I was considering using at first. It still gets a nice boost and it can do massive damage to the likes of physically defensive Mega Aggron, you know, Focus Blast is doing over half to that. Sludge Wave is nice to be able to hit the likes of the Clefable. Thunderbolt is just nice stab. I don't want to be running Volt Switch this time around, because I don't want to be wasting that agility if it comes down to it. I'd rather be staying in with the powerful speed boost and just going for attacks. It serves the purpose of being able to outspeed his very, very quick mons. The only thing on Ethan's team that I think naturally outspeeds, there are 2. There's Starmie and there's Tornadus-I. Tornadus-I, I don't see him bringing Scarfed, for the simple reason that it does other things better. With its massive natural speed, I'm fully expecting an Assault Vest set, which is a very popular one, to be able to run mixed offenses with maybe a defense lowering nature. That's kind of what I'm expecting from the Tornado, so I'm not expecting that to be scarfed. The other thing that outspeeds naturally is Starmie, and given that that's his only hazard removal, and I have a very prevalent setter in the form of Chestnut, I don't think he's bringing Scarf Starmie either. So I'm fully expecting Thundurus, especially after an agility, to be able to outspeed everything. And that's kind of the thinking there, it's just my out of Trick Room contingency. If Victini has done some work and been able to get massive chip damage on loads of things, I can bring in Thundurus, set up the agility and just go for a late game sweep. Kind of the thinking there. It hits a lot of his mons neutrally. Gastrodon could be a problem, I'm just going to have to hope I've taken care of Gastrodon by then, or that it's at a low enough range where the likes of Focus Blast, God forbid it doesn't miss, is going to be able to take it out from the range that it is at. So that's the thinking behind Thundurus. We're now going to move on to the last mon on my team, and this time around we are going to go with Tyrantrum. I am bringing a bulky Tyrantrum this time. We've got the leftovers, we've got Rockhead as the ability, we have got the moves Head Smash, Protect, Roar and Stealth Rock with max HP, 132 in defense, 124 in special defense, and an impish nature. Now what does this investment allow me to do? It allows me to take 2 hits from modest assault vested Electros, even hidden power Ice. I can take 2 of them with my leftovers and 2 hit KO with Head Smash. That's the beauty of defensive Tyrantrum. With its massive attack stats and Head Smash, it still does massive damage to a lot of things on his team. The only things that really want to take those kind of hits are Gastrodon and Mega Aggron. Everything else is looking to be 2 hit KO'd, maybe not a defensive Clefable, I'm not sure. Protect, mainly on there as scouting purposes to get leftovers back, but it also serves the dual purpose of being maybe an unexpected move to pack against high jump kick Mienshao, which I'm thinking he might well be bringing. Roar, very nice for phasing. I've got hazards on this team, and especially with Stealth Rock and the spikes from Chestnut, if I can be roaring things around to get chip damage even more from hazards, that will only help enable a sweep later on if I can get it going. And Tyrantrum just takes hits very well. It can take a hit from timid Life Orb Starmie for one thing, which is fantastic, especially if he's going for stab. I can take like a Hydro Pump, a Surf, a Scald, any of these things. I can also take pretty much any one hit from Tornadus Therian, which is always useful to have. I may not have counters, but at least I have a check. I can take, you know, any 2 hits mostly, unless he's like massively invested with Hurricane. That's still doing really a lot of damage to me, despite the resistance. It's a very nice thing to be able to take on Electros as well. As I've said, it can take 2 hidden power ices. Spoiler alert, it can take 2 of anything else. And that's nice because I don't have all that many switch-ins to the plethora of moves that Electros can pick from. So yeah, that's pretty much it on Tyrantrum. Other things it takes hits from include Jolly, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Tauros. It'll take hits endlessly from Mega Aggron. Zoroark it can take a hit or 2 from as well. Clefable, bit of a problem, but as I've said with Miss Magus, I'm hoping to have taken care of it by then. And Gastrodon as well, you know, I can take a couple of hits from it, but it can take hits endlessly from me, so that's another thing I need to have dealt with by the time Tyrantrum is in to try and do some walling. So, that is pretty much going to be it from this team. You know the plan, guys. Take care of Clefable, or maybe Mega Aggron with Miss Magus if I can, get hazards up, get phasing damage from Tyrantrum, and then basically just try and enable a Trick Room sweep with Victini, and if that doesn't work or I've got massive damage before it goes down, get the agility up and proceed to sweep further with Thundurus. That is the plan. It's gonna be difficult. Ethan is a very, very good player. He's currently sitting at 3-1, he's at a very, very healthy differential. I'm going to need to be on form this game. My gimmicks need to work, I need to have my prediction game on point, I need to bring my A game. Can we do it? Of course we can do it. Why couldn't we do it, you know? The one thing I think that this team will have over his is the factor of the unexpected. He is not going to see this coming, I'm fairly sure. I'm thinking really far outside the box with this one. And that is going to be a blessing in disguise for me. I don't think he's going to see this coming at all. and that hopefully therein is going to lie my advantage. If I can catch him off guard, he's going to be scrambling, and hopefully by the time he's worked out what's going on, it'll be too late. And hopefully we can take this game. I rather think we can, but only time will tell. So, as I say, that's pretty much going to be it. The game will go up either later today or later on tomorrow. It's a little bit further back in time than I would like. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. It's a little bit late to be getting this video up than I would like. Usually I like these videos to go up on the Friday and then the battle to follow up on the Saturday. Few issues going on there, you know, time differences and stuff. Unfortunately, Ethan's only going to be able to get a battle a bit later on in the week. So this one's going to go up on the Saturday, and again, depending on sort of when we manage to get that video up, the battle will either follow late on the Saturday or come sometime on the Sunday. So definitely make sure to look forward to that, because it's going to be an absolute cracker, let me tell you. I'm absolutely certain of that. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's going to be a good battle. Didn't get to battle Ethan last time. Kind of looking forward to it this time. Also kind of shitting myself about it. Because his team is super spooky. But we're just going to have to see if the plan works. So look forward to that battle coming up later on today or tomorrow. Links in the description, by the way, will be to Ethan, Erasthamus Gaming, very good friend of mine. He's an absolutely lovely gent. Make sure to check out his Twitter and his YouTube. You'll be able to see his side of this battle, as well as all the other battles on his channel from this season and the past one, as well as the rest of his fantastic content. And speaking of links in the description, those to the PPL Twitter and YouTube will be there as well. For all things PPL, all your news, transfer information, everything about everything going on in Divisions 1 and 2, regularly updated on the Twitter and various things on the YouTube as well, including all our fantastic analysts putting their thoughts towards what's going on. So make sure you check them out too to stay updated. But yeah, I'm going to try and end things off here because it is 2:15 in the morning and I need to go to bed. So, thank you all very much for watching. The battle will be going up very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. But with that, there's nothing much more to say. So again, I guess I will just see you all next time. Laters.